Another occurrence at his girlfriend's, I went and tried to talk to him, and then he came out there with the gun.
We've been separated for, I feel, quite some time. It's just that I had been living with her for a very long time and helping her take care of my son.
When did y'all stop being romantic?
Mom and Dad both have safety concerns about each other.
State would love a final order if possible. There's going to be a lot of contest, Your Honor. I think the parties both have safety concerns about each other. There's not a lot of agreement. I think there's going to be disagreement about wages. I don't think they're going to argue about mom carries health insurance, and I don't think they're going to argue about her numbers. So I guess we have a partial or a de facto agreement there. And then there's going to be the issue over retroactive support. I think mom's going to ask March 22nd, starting in March of 2022. I think Dad's going to say it ought to start March of 2023. But I would ask the court not to hold me to that.
All right, then let's get some data from the parties. Like I said, I got a jurisdictional thing here. Looks like I said, mom's in Texas, dad is in Indiana. I think it's Indiana. So obviously, concerns about the other party is kind of based on how far they live apart is going to be less of an issue than normal if they both lived here in Bell County, Texas. So anyway, let's find out. I need to find out some data when were they ever together, when they separated, how much money, where the child has been living for the last 6 months. Obviously, right now the pleadings show that the child has been living in Texas, so Texas has exclusive jurisdiction over the child in this matter going forward. And whether or not I see I got a pay stub here, but it doesn't look like it's very extensive. So the court may be looking at a temporary order to get a little bit more data and get some other information from dad and from mom. But let's get the basics down, Mr. Diamond, and let's find out who's where and how long they've been there and where the child's been and who the child's been with for at least the last 2 years. Like I said, it looks like the child in this matter is going to be 6 years old next month. So and where the child, so that appears that the child's in school, and we got to deal with the school stuff too. So let me find out what's going on here, and we'll take it from there. Truth is nothing but the truth, so help you.
Yes.
Yes.
And who is the child the subject of this suit?
Roland Prometheus Luna Jr.
Did you and Mr. Luna ever live in Texas together?
Yes, we did.
Was Roland conceived in Texas?
He was.
That satisfy the court?
Yes, it does.
Thank you, Your Honor. Are you and Mr. Luna able to co-parent?
Unfortunately not.
When did you and Mr. Luna separate?
In March of 2022.
Okay. And how many times has Mr. Luna seen Roland since y'all separated?
I'm not sure. He's seen him a handful of times, but the last time he's seen him would have been last year, either in March through May. For sure, after June, July, once he left the military, he has not seen Roland at all, other than in like videos and postings that I've posted.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So he saw his son in person sometime in either March or April of 2023?
2023, yep.
Okay.
That would have been like the last time.
How long were those visits? We talking like an hour, a day, a week?
So it's kind of weird because he kind of came back into the home for a brief moment, like not even a month. Just because his issues, trying to work it out, him and his girlfriend and him not having anywhere to go. But that didn't last too long. So he was there.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So you took both Mr. Luna and his girlfriend at the time into your home?
No, just Mr. Luna.
Okay.
It was weird, like we were roommates for a little while.
And you said, okay, so you said that was about a month that y'all two were
cohabiting?
Less than a month. Was there an effort to get back together?
I would say yes. On my part, I was trying.
But it sounds like unsuccessful.
Yes, it was definitely unsuccessful.
Man, what month in 2023 was that?
So he came back towards like the end of, I want to say it was like January that year. It was like little hiccups here and there where he was like there. Okay. But he last seen the child at some point like March through May. I know for sure that was like the last time he ever seen Roland.
And man, when did you get out of the military?
He got out of the military in July of last year.
So has Mr. Luna had phone visits, FaceTime visits with his son?
Unfortunately not. He has not made an attempt to try or any effort.
So you're saying that the last time that he saw his son either in person or electronically was May of 2023 at the latest?
Yes.
And you said you and Mr. Luna are not able to co-parent. What?
Unfortunately not. I would like him to be involved in my child's life. You know, I understand the need for him to have his dad. Before Roland spiraled and we became, enabled to continue with our relationship and the marriage and be a family. Prior to everything that calls that, I've seen Roland be a really good dad in the past.
Real quick, ma'am, again, we don't
Mhm.
go into narratives, I'm sorry. We let the state ask
So-
questions, you answer the question, then you have to stop.
Gotcha,
One
understood.
question I have, is there a divorce pending anywhere, ma'am, that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
All right, thank you. Let me ask you next question then, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so let's talk about in a sentence or two. Can you, and we can flesh it out if we need to. In a sentence or two, can you tell the court why you and Mr. Luna are not able to co-parent?
Disagreements on morals and I guess past, we just can't seem to get past that.
Let's talk about what have the disagreements look like?
So, I would like him to speak to his son. He doesn't make the effort. That there's one there. And then, like I'm like, well, call and talk to him. He's like, no, you're just trying to set me up. So he refuses to make an effort, and there's really nothing there. So it's making something out of nothing, essentially.
Okay. Has there been safety issues between you and Mr. Luna?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court about those, please?
A couple of arguments where we argued and he kind of took my phone, and I would say he accidentally smashed, my foot in the door. I don't believe it was purposeful. I just think it was just heat of the moment, everything that was going on, and it just happened to be there. Another occurrence at his girlfriend's, I went and tried to talk to him, and then he came out there with a gun, knowing I was out there, but tried to say that it was due to the neighborhood and things like that. But I disagree with that part. Outside of that,
So
nothing
I'm sorry. Did
physical.
the gun get pointed at you, or did he just happen to have it in his hand?
He happened to have it in his hand and kind of moved it around, but he didn't point it at me. No.
But you believe he was trying to send a message?
Yes. Mhm.
When was that?
That was, oof. I'm not certain on the date. I couldn't give you a clear answer as to when that
What year,
was.
ma'am? Last year, year before last?
2022. 2022 at some point prior to Christmas. Mhm.
Okay. Have you had issues with his discipline of your son?
No, I kind of don't like that he disciplined the son because he hasn't really been around him. So when he would yell at him, I'd kind of be like, hey, but nothing in disciplinary wise. I've just had issues surrounding maybe when he's picked him up and then he got calls from his friends, so he was in a rush. So he kind of just like pulled at him or let him fall and, just didn't show any empathy.
Okay. Were there issues with him being physical with his son that you didn't like?
There is that one instance that my son brings up where I guess they
Okay,
went
ma'am,
to the park.
Stop, sorry.
Yes.
You
if
can only
want a
testify that
straightforward
what you
answer.
actually saw. If the child told you something that you didn't observe, you cannot testify to it, ma'am.
So then no.
Okay. Have there been substance abuse issues?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court about those, please?
Yeah, so he's consistent on, smoking marijuana. He also does shrooms on occasion. He does drink occasionally. I don't know how all of that is still occurring, but I do know he's of course he's going to continue to smoke marijuana.
So you said that marijuana and mushrooms, he drinks some, but you're not sure if the drinking crosses the line into drunkenness. Is that right?
Right.
Mhm. Has he told you why he was separated from the military?
Yes, actually, I know. I spoke with the commander, but it was due to
We're
failing
not
the UA.
interested we're not interested in what the commander said. Has Mr. Luna told you why he was separated?
He has not told me why, but yeah.
Okay. Right. Any other safety concerns that you have with Mr. Luna?
Driving.
With either you or your son?
So just driving. If he was to have the child, he has, speeding tickets. in the past. We've seen him drive and go to like, what are they called? Like car clubs, car meets and things like that.
Like
So
street
that's a
races?
concern. Yeah, street racing. So that's a concern. And then just, having those things in front of the son and just being able to be sober in front of him.
Do you have concerns that he would drive under the influence?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here's the deal, ma'am. Have you ever observed him driving under the influence of alcohol?
Of alcohol, yes.
And when was the last time that happened?
Mm, that's actually been quite a while. I would say sometime maybe 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
May proceed, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. What about while high from marijuana?
That would be more of my concern as opposed to drinking. He's never been a big drinker.
When was the most recent episode that you observed him
Um,
driving after having consumed marijuana?
Whatever the last time it was, I would have seen him. Maybe May as well in 2023.
So are you asking that your address not be disclosed?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You carry medical insurance for your son?
I do.
And what's the source of that medical insurance?
Through my employer.
Okay. And what are you paying to cover your son?
So currently they're taking out is it just medical or are you wanting dental and vision as well?
So I'll need the medical and the dental. I can't do anything for you on the vision.
Okay, so medical, they're total, it's let me go look at this one. They take out 68.39 out of my check every pay period.
The numbers I have, tell me if this is right or wrong. I have it costs you $34 a month to cover your son on medical and $7 a month on dental. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's incorrect. Because whenever I was looking at it, that's per pay period, not per month.
So it should be 68 and 14.
68.39 for medical, and that's me and him per pay period. And then for the dental, 14.12 per pay period.
How often do you get paid, ma'am?
Every other Friday.
All right, and I intend to ask or to request retroactive medical and dental support. Do you have any objection to that?
No, I do not.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. So let's talk about wages. Do you know how much Mr. Luna makes?
I have no idea.
I think that pretty much does it. Is there anything that I've not covered that you think the court ought to take into consideration, Ms. Menace?
Just as well, like going back to March, I don't know if it's relevant. But there is like an AR legal document from the military that we obtained where he was also supposed to be paying. It's a combined total for spousal and like child and all that stuff that should have been owed going back to May of 2022. And that's got like a huge total on that too.
I can only confirm court orders or court matters, not military ordered matters, ma'am, okay?
Okay, I'm not sure if it matters, but it's like a military court document.
I know, but it's not a state of Texas court document, ma'am, sorry.
Gotcha.
So, Ed, but the bottom line is, it'll be dealt with in the retro one way or the other, ma'am. So
Yeah.
either what the state says he should have paid or what he should have paid under that order, but we'll take that up in a minute. Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, be back in just a moment. Call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Call Mr. Luna. Mr. Luna, will you state your full name, please?
That's going to be Roland Alexander Garza.
Can you and Ms. Jimenez co-parent?
I would have to disagree with that. No.
Okay. Why would you say you and Ms. Jimenez cannot co-parent together?
I would have to say that her emotions get the better of her. She seems to drag past relationships and past issues into the today rather than speak solely on my son's part.
So who ought to be the one that makes the decisions for your son?
I mean, she knows him more than me, so I would say her. It's just that the reason why I can't communicate with her is she's very argumentative and hostile and harassing. So I just try my best to distance myself. And I like there to be a mediator like the court is right now. So that's a way better safe space than just communicating with her and causing any more issues, I think.
Okay.
So that's the best point of action that I took.
So one of the options that the court has, there's an app that you might have heard about from the previous hearings. It's called app close, and the court can monitor communications between the parties. Is that something that you would like the court to consider?
I'm very open to that. That sounds, yeah, something I'm very considerate of. I did overhear somebody speak of that. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So what should be your son's living situation and visitation situation?
Well, he can stay with me. I live here by myself in my own residence, so I'm paying all these bills by myself. I'm taking care of everything by myself. He has a home to call his own over here, and I was looking at, because of the far distance, maybe like summertime visitation for a longer period, rather than just a weekend or something like that, because it's just price and flights, gas. It's just not realistic to do small time frames, I believe.
Okay, and maybe I should have asked a broader question. What would you like the judge to order? Are you wanting your son to come live with you full time? You wanting just to make sure that you have visitation over the summer? Are you wanting something in between? What is it you're asking for?
Honestly, I would leave that up to his opinion. I believe he has the bigger say in this than anybody.
Well, yeah, for sure, but this is your chance to say what you think.
I would love to have him full time. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Okay, and you think that would be best for your son?
Yeah, I think I could mentor him and build him up to be a very good, a very good and productive citizen in this nation that I love. And, the opportunities out here in Indiana are very good and way more bigger, in my opinion. So I think he would thrive because of his intelligence.
Okay. There's been some issues raised about substances. Do you believe that that's an issue?
Yes, I believe previously it was an issue, but I went through the military and I've gotten substance abuse counseling, and I've been, assessed by doctors and physicians and therapists, and I've gotten a good bill of health that say, hey, he's functional, he's good, he's not overly excessive, crazy.
So is marijuana use still ongoing?
No, I don't use it very frequently, not at all. No. The last time I used it, maybe 2 months ago, possibly 3.
And forgive my ignorance, is it legal in the state of Indiana?
No, I did that in Michigan, actually.
Okay. Do you have safety concerns regarding Miss Jimenez?
My safety concerns, as I don't know where my son's at. I don't know if she's living by herself. So if that's the case, are they making enough money? Is he getting fed enough? Things like that. She's also a very big drinker in the past. She drank a lot, and her anger is very explosive. She's known to break things and get very agitated very easily.
So has she made threats or been violent towards you?
Yes, I mean, I have videos and other evidence if you would like me to provide that to the court.
Well, maybe you can just tell me what happened.
Oh, like her not being able to calm down, viciously yelling at me in front of my son, going off, on huge tangents, cursing while I'm trying to defuse the situation and tell her to calm down and say, hey, we can do this at another time. Just the inability to do that.
Have the police ever had to been called?
And this is what's going to evolve. I guess I'm gonna touch into another reason why.
Sir, stop. Listen to the question and ask the question. No, the state asked you a separate question. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You may repeat the question, Mr. Diamond.
Yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Luna, have you ever had to call the police on her?
Yes, on 2 occasions, and I do have those event numbers.
Okay, so can you what happened in a few sentences? Can you tell the court?
Let's give me the dates, Mr. Diamond. We got to move on. It's almost 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Yes, sir. When did those 2 phone calls happen? Do you recall?
It's been a while. No, I can't give you the names, but like I said, I do have the cards and the event numbers, so they have all the data from the police.
So we talking a year ago? We talking 5 years ago?
A year ago.
Any arrest result?
No, but she did get trespassed at the previous address that she went to at 2 a.m, banging on everybody's door.
Okay, I appreciate that. Do you have any objection to the court using Miss Jimenez health insurance for your son?
Oh, no, not at all.
Let's talk about your earnings. I believe you earn $17 an hour. Is that correct?
That would be accurate. Yes, sir.
Okay, and you get roughly 40 hours a week?
Actually, it's 30. I forgot because the company can't afford 40.
So the period of it looks like December 11th through December 24. How many hours? Do you remember how many hours you worked that time?
That time I had to work probably over 40, and that's just because of emergencies. That's another part of my job is that I do maintenance on apartments. And so if there's any water issues, plumbing issues, no matter the time. If it's an emergency, I have to go there and assess the damage or try to fix it immediately.
Okay. Your Honor, may I share my screen?
Sure.
This would be, I believe, December's pay stub.
Okay. But it's your position that this was an atypical pay period?
Yes, because then if you turn into January's pay stub, because of the holidays, I had extra days off, and you can see the impact of me not working more hours, and there not being any emergencies.
Yeah, you got 34 hours in January. Is that about 34 hours a week? Is that correct?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, so we have one paycheck that shows 34, the other pay stub that's above 40, but you're saying that 40 is not the number?
40 is not the usual. No, I can provide more pay stubs if that needs to be.
How long you worked there, sir?
I got here in July, so about almost six months, I think, or 5 months, somewhere around there, sir. I only provided those two
I'm saying a
documents
year to
because
date
that's
on this is obviously not giving me a year to date.
that's what the employer gives me on the application on the app.
Okay, I know, I see it now. There's 11, you earned $11,653.32 gross earnings from the time you worked there until, looks like this pay stub is December 29th or through December 24th, before the last week of the year, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. And you started there when?
Around July timeframe, sir.
You remember when in July, sir?
I want to say somewhere around the 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe.
Okay, that first 10 days of July?
Yes, around that time frame. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. When did you and Ms. Jimenez separate, Mr. Luna?
Well, we've been separated for, I feel, quite some time. It's just that I had been living with her for a very long time and helping her take care of my son.
Okay, here's the deal, sir. Again, you got to answer the question. Sorry. When did
Okay,
y'all
sorry.
separate,
I
sir?
apologize. I guess I would say the last time would say in March of 23.
So March of 23 is romantically separated but still living together, or is that romantically
No.
separated and not living together anymore?
No, we were just separate. I mean, I really don't know how to. We haven't been romantic in many years, so I don't really know how to answer that question.
When did y'all stop being romantic?
I genuinely can't put a time frame on it because I was gone on a deployment for a year as well in Korea, sir.
Okay.
When did you get back from your deployment in Korea, sir?
I got back around 22, sir.
What year, what month?
And at the end of 22, rolling into 23, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I think that about does it, Your Honor.
All right, real quick,
Subject to.
all right, I'm gonna call Ms. Jimenez back. Ms. Jimenez, during the time that Mr. Luna was stationed in Korea, where were you living?
I was living at our home,
Okay, in what city was that?
Killeen, Texas.
All right, then, and did y'all separate before he left for Korea, or y'all separated after you got back from Korea, ma'am?
After he got back, well, like during when he was in Korea, we kind of like, in a sense, separated due to his infidelity. And then he came back home and we were okay until he came back home October of 22. We were back okay all the way until February. After Valentine's Day is when it all kind of just spiraled. And then as March came, it just got worse. We could never
Okay.
just get back from that
All right, thank you, ma'am.
after.
All right, then, Mr. Diamond, any other questions of Mr. Luna?
No, Your Honor. I think we just need the court to make rulings.
All right, and Mr. Luna, your testimony is that, and again, I'm not sure. I didn't know when they. I didn't think Indiana marijuana was legal. Is marijuana legal in the state of Michigan, man, sir?
What was that?
Is marijuana legal in Michigan, sir?
Yes,
How far do you live from Michigan?
an hour.
All right, then. Any other questions by the witness, Mr. Diamond?
No, sir, Your Honor.
All right, yeah, I'm not sure if I need to keep making all these temporary orders, but I'm probably looking at a temporary order here. to get a little bit more clarification. Did the state do the math on Mr. Luna's year-to-date income information?
We did, Your Honor, based off of 40 hours, and 40 hours is the number that 40 hours a week is the number I would ask the court to use, but I can understand why the court may make a different ruling, but I can give the court the numbers based off of the 40 hours.
I don't need the hours. I just need, if we're looking at that first week in July going all the way through, I just want to know, did you do the monthly, the average over the overall income for that entire time frame? That's what I'm looking at.
I'm afraid we didn't, Your Honor. Because of these new rules, maybe I should have asked the CSO to do a wage investigation, but I had the calculation based off his pay stubs.
All right, then. What's the calc you have based on 40 hours a week?
Off of 40 hours a week, Your Honor, I calculated gross of $2,946.67. Although the numbers that Mom testified to on the medical are slightly different than. If I could have maybe 2 minutes, Your Honor, I'd need to recalculate the guideline because the medical and dental testimony was different.
What I'm going to have you do, Mr. Diamond, is recalculate it based on year to date. That last week of the year that's not included, I'll let you include 40 hours at that time at the pay rate. But we've got a year to date based on what his actual earnings are. So I'm looking at that being more accurate than anything else. So he was saying he started there the first week of July. So I'm gonna make it the second week. So let me look. What was July 2023? I'm looking at. I want to give him a start date of July 10th, and take that all the way through December 24th, and then for that last pay week, do it the whole $40 an hour. I mean, 40 hours at the full amount, and have you do the calcs to figure out what that is. And like I said, I'm probably going to do a reset on that for you to give me those calcs. But I'm going to give both the parties the opportunity to make a closing statement here in a moment. Here's the deal, folks. Nothing I've heard here says that I'm not supposed to name y'all as joint management servitor. There's nothing I heard here today. Well, the court, there is a little concern. Dad says he doesn't do marijuana. He lives in a state that doesn't allow marijuana. So I may be looking at pointing that light and having a drug test done, or at least a urinalysis, and those are good for the last 30 days to see it's clean, and I'll have and the lawyer will set that up. And that light is a lawyer that's appointed to represent the child. So I'm looking at maybe doing that. I'm looking at making this a temporary order. I'm looking at right now I'm only looking at setting up current child support going forward, and I'll hold in advance the retroactive, because again, based on the testimony, I'm probably looking at starting in March of 2023 based on everything I've heard from both parties here at the best. So I'm only looking at 9 to 10 months of retroactive child support. And again, I'm looking at that based on an average of what his earnings have been since he got the job in July. And the normal long distance visitation package, after I'm looking at the ordering the parties to go forward using an app close to communicate. I'm looking at giving Dad at least FaceTime through app close once a week with the child every Sunday. He's Central Time, so that'll be at 6 p.m. Central Time. And I'm looking at setting up a final order dealing with long distance visitation under the standard Texas order. But I'm going to look at that after I get the data back from the ad litem and the drug testing concerned, as far as what the norm is. And here's the deal, folks. Under Texas law, the norm is usually 42 days in the summer, every spring break, and sometime during the holidays. But until I get the drug testing back on that, I'm not looking at setting that up as a final order. So again, for right now, I'm just looking at doing that, the temporary order, doing the FaceTime, and getting the drug testing back. And I'm gonna get drug testing on both parties. I always do that. I don't do one, I do both. And the ad litem is going to set the one up locally and the one up in Indiana. But and then I'm looking at coming back and doing a final order on everything concerned here. And I know we just went through a big time mishmash of this, but right now I'm looking at temporary joint management servitors, FaceTime visits at least once a week, I'm looking at setting up temporary child support based on an average for what the father has earned since July. I'm gonna let the state do the math on that. And I'm looking at appointing an ad litem. And at this time, I'm going to appoint Ms. Elizabeth Swartz as the ad litem to set up the drug testing here in drug testing locally and the drug testing in Indiana. And I'm probably looking at bringing everybody back here in sometime in February with an update. I'll have Walker see if Ms. Swartz is scheduled for any time in late February to come in. And that way we can do it on one of her dates that's already set. And that's pretty much it as far as the temp is concerned. And I know I just went down a lot, Mr. Diamond, and I'm going to start with the parents. This is seeing, I just gave the child a lawyer. I'm looking at coming back and making a final order in this matter, folks, when the lawyers had the opportunity to get drug testing on both of y'all. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and set this up with just FaceTimes. And then once we get the drug testing back, the lawyer for the child can make recommendations going forward what the visitation should be and whether or not it should be the standard package, and we'll see what that is. So I'll start with you, ma'am. Additions and or questions, please.
Just that I would like it to go all the way back to March of 2022 as opposed to 23. That's when we
Ma'am, it doesn't
technically
sound like y'all were
separated.
not living, he was not even in the country, and I'll need evidence that he actually didn't support you and the child while he was in Korea.
No, he was already back from Korea in
Oh, he
22.
came back in 2023.
He came back in 2021 in October.
And you're saying y'all started separating in 2022?
Of March. And then I have plenty of proof of where he quit paying everything. He let the house foreclose as of February of 2022.
Well, I'm gonna hold in the bands back doing the retro, ma'am, until we come back for a final. I just want yeah, I'm probably looking at doing it. If you got the evidence, get it together and have that ready to present at the final hearing, ma'am. Okay?
Absolutely.
And sir, what was your last day of military service
That would be June 6th.
of last year?
Yes, sir.
And what was your rank, sir?
Should have been a PV1. Yeah, but E1.
E1. Did you get your discharge from the military? Was it honorable or less than honorable or something
It was
else?
honorable. It was honorable.
All right, but you did get busted?
Yes.
And what was the reason for them taking you down to E1?
That was for a failed UA.
For what?
A failed UA.
LUA. Okay, thank you. All right. Well, like I said, we're going to do testing, and I'll ask the ad litem if she want to do UA or hair or a fingernail to get me a long-term one. But we'll see about that from the ad litem. The ad litem's name is Elizabeth Swartz. Does the state the ad litem represents the child in this case, and we'll make recommendations going forward in your child's behalf. Doesn't represent mom, doesn't represent dad, represents the baby's best interest. Is it okay with the state to give the ad litem your contact information, which means emails and phone numbers? And I'll start with you, Mr. Luna. Yeah, is that okay?
To who?
To the child's new lawyer.
Oh, yes.
All right. Ms. Jimenez, is that okay with you, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, then. All right, folks. Ms. Walker, are you still here?
She is, Your Honor. She just messaged me. I have that I can share with the court.
All right. When's Ms. Swartz going to be here?
So she's on the February 7th hybrid docket, and then she has 2 cases on March 5th docket, Your Honor.
Let's use the March 5th, the hybrid docket. Yeah, that's the live docket, folks, and that one gets a little crazy. So I'm looking at having her do the investigation. She'll make recommendations. She'll do the drug testing. She'll pick it out it's on my dime to begin with, and she'll pay it. But if either of y'all come back positive, then guess who has to pay for those drug tests? Okay. All right. I'm gonna start with you then, Ms. Jimenez. Any questions, ma'am?
Not at this time. No, thank you.
Mr. Lewin, questions, sir.
A little bit, because I'm hearing something about like her trying to say y'all trying to say the cutoff was on March, but I have evidence that I was giving her money during.
Okay, sir. We're holding that in advance. So back child support retroactive. I'm not going to make a decision on that until we come back in March.
Okay.
So
yes,
everybody get their paperwork together, showing what was being done, what was being paid,
okay.
Whether or not there was allotments going for something or whatever, and I will take that in consideration. So if both of y'all say y'all got evidence of different things, I'll let y'all present that, and I may be looking at setting this up for a special setting anyway. But I'll let the Atlanta see for whether or not we can get this all done on a regular date, or we're gonna have a special setting date for this.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
All right. And Mr. Diamond, I'll ask the state again to go ahead and give me the year to date and adding that 40 hours of $40 1 week at his current rate, a full 40-hour week, and doing the average for those from that that first Monday. I'm sorry, that second Monday in July and through the end of the year, and figuring out what the support will be and get back with the court on that information. If you can do the calcs and let me know that tomorrow, I'll finish up the docket sheet on that tomorrow. Parties should not have to appear for that. I'll just I'll
yes,
have
Your Honor.
something telling them what the ruling is going to be. But again, ma'am, sir, I'm going to have the actual wages earned during that time frame, and I'm going to add in that 1 week for the last week of the year that's not there to get me through the end of the year, and have the state do the calcs based on that number of weeks. And we'll look at the final item when we finalizing or setting that up as a final order when we come in March, and doing the average for the entire time from July through March. That's what I'm supposed to look at as far as calculating child support. And again, visitation every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Everybody download App Close from the iTunes or the Google Play Store and use that going forward. That way, if there's a conflict of what happened or what didn't happen, the Atlanta can get the App Close information and get it to the court. Anything else, Mr. Luna?
Negative, sir.
Anything else, Ms. Jimenez?
App closed. Is that APPCLOSE?
Yes, ma'am. #1 parenting app in the world. All right. Thank you both very much. I'll let the state CC you all with that information, and I will finish the docket entry on it in the morning. Thank you.